This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. Well, you know, it's me and my only friends, which includes my sidekick, Matthew Berkey. Give it up for Matthew Berkey, everybody.
Golf clap, golf clap.
Wait, I don't know if this is too late, but can you turn the sound in these headphones down? Because I'm pretty sure I went deaf listening to Conrad say what's poppin'.
He wasn't even loud.
I was not loud today.
Wow.
No, these headphones are... These headphones are much louder than those. Brian must have really bad ears. He's not here today, so we get the shit on him again. But yeah.
Yeah, deaf Brian.
Deaf tortoise.
He does not have ears like a hawk.
No, he's got ears like a
tortoise. Yeah.
They don't have ears.
Abundantly could. Why are you in that chair today, Landon?
Chauncey vomited near my section. I cleaned it, but we made it here today.
Did you clean it though?
I did. I loosely clean is a loose term.
Yeah.
I can confirm he did.
Chauncey doesn't think so.
Yeah, he was like that.
He says that shit is not clean, man.
I kind of like the shot, but anyways, Brian might have to move to that chair.
Oh, you get the better mic.
I don't know why you think that you get the choice over Sir Tortoise.
That's true. He is
It must be
167 years old.
You must be out of your mind.
I just think it's probably better with these shorts, you know, because when I look at them on the camera, they don't look. See, look at this.
Actually, you might be right.
I am right.
We might have a permanent swap here.
Yeah, I like perma swap.
You also have reasonably length shorts on today.
The secret is I don't. I just pulled them down a bit.
I see.
Works out.
Well, we appreciate it
Yeah.
here at the Only Friends podcast. And
A professional organization.
Right. Our viewers in the audience also appreciate a little less man thigh from Landon Tice.
I'm not sure about that, though. It depends. Have you really polled the audience?
You know what? Let's go ahead and do so, Landon. Why don't we do exactly that? Let's start a poll.
Man.
Should Landon get longer shorts?
I don't like your side, Landon.
Listen.
Sorry, Landon. RIP.
I just think that they want to see me fail, and I'm not going to fail.
Landon, you have your boxers fucking showing and your shorts don't.
But they
What
don't.
do you mean?
Hey.
Not right now.
They're compression shorts.
They're compression shorts.
What the fuck does that mean?
They're meant to be long.
Not longer than your shorts.
I kind of don't mind it.
It's a look.
I like it.
It's a look.
It works for me.
It's a choice.
It is a choice.
I agree. Whenever you finally become the kickboxer that you are meant to become,
You have some long-ass legs.
then and only then, when those legs are a pure weapon, do I think that, we can start showing them off.
Yeah, so I'm building towards that.
You're
you know?
like, who was the guy in Street Fighter that his legs, extended super long?
Dalsum, isn't it?
Dalsum, yeah. You're like him.
I love Street Fighter.
You have to get a little bit more Buddha, though. We're going to have to shave the head.
I'm traumatized by Dalsum. I used to get called Dalsum in junior high because I was so tall and skinny.
Call what?
Are you
Dalsum.
even tall?
Well,
He was then.
I was very skinny, so the appearance of me
Right.
being tall was,
I get that.
It was heightened.
Yeah, people think I'm taller than I am because I have good posture.
People think I'm shorter than I am.
People think I'm taller.
The amount of you're a lot taller than I thought you would be is a lot.
That's weird because you strike me
Constantly.
as tall.
I think it's because I try to slouch a bit in the chair, so camera wise, people I'm sure think that you're taller than me.
That's crazy, but sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean I don't see how, but yeah, people tell me you're much taller than I thought you were. I'm like, yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, I get it. Well, when you're really fucking tall, it's hard to imagine how tall that actually is.
Yeah.
6'5" is God, you're a waste of fucking talent.
No, I'm getting there, man. I was a former waste of talent.
A waste of everything. Your fucking HRV is
177.
that's literally 4x mine, 5x almost.
HRV?
Heart rate variability. I was of the impression that nobody on Earth was over 50, and then I saw Landon's and it's 180.
Yeah.
Wait, what's HRV?
Heart rate variability.
Conrad's
So
might be
does it mean?
-10.
it's basically the variation between your heartbeats. So if you have a heart rate of 59 beats per minute, they don't just consistently go 1 beat per second. It's you might have 4 beats in a second, then 1 beat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that sounds like arrhythmia from here.
Yeah, I mean, we're not doctors, but arrhythmia, I think, is an
irregular.
Or
Well,
regular
I mean, that sounds
heartbeat,
pretty
yeah.
fucking irregular if you have 4 beats in 1 second. And the
Well,
next you
I'm
know.
sure it's
Well,
not
there's-
as bad as he's making it seem, but
No, there's just no such thing as like there. I don't know what equates to being an irregular heartbeat. Like I don't know what they measure that against as being regular, but the variation between your beats is why an EKG looks like what an EKG looks like.
we'll have to get Spraggy in here.
Yeah. So
Spraggy would know.
Spraggy's
No, he has got an irregular heartbeat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he and I have had these conversations.
Did you turn my chicken off?
Yes.
Are you sure?
No.
Because it smells like it's burning.
Yes.
So it's off.
Yes.
Or it's burning.
Yes.
He's not helping.
You're not helping.
It's off.
Okay. You're not easing my mind at all here. All right, we got a big show today. The top story is that Ali, I'ma steal your bitch.
No,
came
he doesn't
out.
steal anybody's bitch. He's gonna steal your chips.
I'ma steal your chips.
Yeah.
He came out and acknowledged that he was a cheater, but that he didn't cheat that bad, and we should all forgive him for it.
Oh, it's not that bad.
I'm kind of on his side.
Put out a little video. It's all right.
I watched the 30 minutes. I believe him. I rescind everything. I'm Team Ali.
Who would have thought that the people that said, "Oh, this guy's not cheating," after then hearing this video of, "No, I did cheat." Well, maybe there was a leg to stand on here.
No. I think that you're overlooking the other 27 minutes of the video where the cheating wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And most everything that he was accused of is not true.
Yeah, a lot of half-truths in there.
A lot of half-truths. We'll get to that, though, a little bit later in the show. We got some news and notes from the weekend to speak about from the WSOP. But before all that, I want to give a shout-out to our sponsor this month, WPT Global. Right now, they're doing a promotion called King of Cash, where you can win $25,000 at a free roll entry into WPT Global's latest promotion. Starting on June 18th and ongoing until further notice. For every 100 cash games hand played, you can receive a raffle ticket for over $25K in weekly cash and prizes. Every player who earns 2 tickets in a week also gets access to the King of Cash weekly free roll. There's never been a better time to grind cash on WPT Global. Use promo code Berkey when you sign up, and you'll get up to $1,200 deposit bonus. So it's 100% deposit bonus up to $1,200. You guys can sign up by clicking the link in the description below or hit hashtag WPT Global in the chat in order to go sign up. Take advantage of all of the free money that WPT Global is giving away today.
There is a lot of free money there.
A lot of
Lots
free money.
I want to give a big shout out to somebody.
Tom Wheaton's playing 5'10". How much more free can it get? Go ahead.
That is true. Fucking free money. Jesus Christ. Ryan Ezekiel. He won the 400 deep stack last night online.
Okay.
And you know the only reason why he won it, right?
Nope.
Because he couldn't chop it. He couldn't put himself in a bad chop situation.
I don't understand.
Ryan was the one who was like third in chips and the Borgata mystery.
Oh, the mystery bounty?
And chopped the burr. Where the ninth place plucked the biggest bounty.
Right, yeah.
So, but shout out to him, Man,
Congrats,
man.
Thinking back on that scenario after finally having played a mystery bounty myself, it's wild how difficult it had to have been to come up to a reasonable chop there and how much they screwed the pooch.
Oh, sure. They didn't come to any reasonable chop, and they screwed
Well,
the pooch times 100.
on the prize pool side, they did. On the bounty side, they definitely fucked it up. But, I mean, it sounds like it was very convoluted in the sense that the casino was unwilling to facilitate chopping the bounty prize pool.
Okay, I didn't know about like that part.
Yeah, so I think that each bounty had to be awarded appropriately, and to leave that to variance at that point is just like that ain't good.
Everybody get in the ring and put your gloves on. We fighting.
It just
They should have they should have like either getting more bounty pools was a byproduct of the ICM chop. So like whoever got first gets like 3 bounties. Whoever gets ninth gets like none, something like that, or done some sort of like flipping to
well, there were some pretty expensive bounties left, right?
Yeah,
At FT.
that's what I mean. Like the ICM was wild.
Well, the thing is, there if they do like ICM for chips plus value of those without including the whatever math they want to use for the bounty, makes it much more favorable for the people that are still in the
The
tournament.
other thing that they could do, the other thing they could have done, actually thinking back on it, is chop it ICM, including the bounty prize pool, and then just
have to trust 8 other people.
Right.
That's
like
miserable.
then you go pluck the bounties and you just give the appropriate one to whoever whoever makes it whole. But yeah, you're right. Then there's a lot of trust factor in there.
We were talking about the
Pretty
time where
cool.
you had to trust one person.
Yeah.
And you got to trust 8 motherfuckers?
No, that part's very true.
In Northeast of America? Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Let's chill out on the Northeast. That's home. Baby.
You're not from the Northeast, so don't worry about it.
Literally from the Northeast.
Sounds like a Midwesterner to me.
Thank you. Finally, Landon, we agree on something. Jesus Christ, it only took us 305 episodes.
You are so dumb.
Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
Are you? You're the same guy who will say I'm Midwest and that Philadelphia is East Coast.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
You didn't see the Dixie line?
Mason-Dixon line is south and north.
No, it isn't.
And we are above the Mason-Dixon line.
No, it isn't.
Go on.
No. It's what divides the East Coast and the Midwest, and it's right, like,
That is not
slightly off Pittsburgh.
That is not the Mason-Dixon line.
It's the Conrad-Dixon line.
You're a fucking dick.
Yeah, it's the Conrad's a dick line.
Christ.
We're making up geography here as we go. Geography is the only friend.
Geography with Conrad.
Need a section for that.
Man, it's like I keep forgetting that you dropped out of like junior high.
9th grade,
Yeah,
and I didn't even go then.
didn't get to that point. Huh? Other notables from the weekend. My man AP Luis Garza with all the fucking swag ships the 10K PLO, proposes to his girlfriend on stage, and manages to wear a Canadian tuxedo with no shirt underneath. I gotta tell you, that's the trifecta.
The tweet of that came out of this was, I've never seen somebody win a bracelet and lose half the money immediately.
Wow, strong.
Man, I was there for that. Arthur Morris does like Friends of Friends. And when Lewis won the bracelet, there was like this whole pandemonium going on because like his family and friends were there. And normally like Natalie like presents the bracelet to the winner. Garza's bro just took it and just like gave it to him. There was like this 5-minute thing of just like, I need to do my job.
Yeah.
Man, it was fun to watch though. Like it's cool to see people be happy. You know?
Yeah. I think it's not even just happy, but like I think it's nice when it's a spectacle to win the event. Like obviously he had this in mind of, if I win, I'm gonna propose.
Maybe he didn't. It would be imagine.
Imagine. I think like I think part of it that's kind of interesting too. Somebody, I can't remember who it was. Somebody tweeted like, "Nah, man, this isn't how you go about proposing. You got to do it when you're at your all-time low, not at peak high."
Yeah, you don't get to keep the peak going.
Yeah, but no, I think this is like super cool. It's a great moment for televised poker too. So like to have it captured on PokerGo, I think is really great. This is one of those stories where it's like it has mainstream potential.
Their rare was pretty sick too.
Yeah,
it was actually like fun. I'm sure I wasn't there for prior, but it got kind of loud mid hand or whatever. Like people kind of chirping from the sidelines, which is not as great. But heads up, who cares?
Right.
Like heads up is the time you get to kind of be and do whatever you want. Like win a pot, like start like screeching. But yeah, I mean, from what I saw, it actually looked like a fun. They looked like they had fun versus just like the very silent, like stoic for the bigger spots and the
Germans,
the golf claps and the.
You can say it, the Germans.
It's not just the Germans, It's just like
they set the precedent. They
like
did all the winning.
German adjacent.
Yeah, they did all the winning, and now they do all of the golf clapping.
Yeah, I guess Espen counts as German adjacent. He's out here talking about smoothies and saunas winning the main event.
He's my spirit animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this seems like it could have mainstream appeal to the major news outlets. But it will never catch the same traction as like a guy putting his fingernails in the fucking cards.
Yeah, fingernail card, bro. Live stream cheating, bro. Live stream cheating, potential cis. People love cheating scandals.
Yeah, we need Robo to like come out of the dark for a day and just be like, AP Garza, if I would have known he was playing, I would have never played this event.
Yeah, and then we get the court cases.
Yeah. But yeah,
Legal
big shout out to
fees, baby.
him. Congratulations. doing it with a lot of style.
Yeah, I mean, he had a sick aesthetic for sure.
Yeah, the man's just on also. He's been crushing.
Yeah.
He won the Florida fucking main. He's won a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
He's absolutely crushing. This kid's on a heat.
He's from Texas?
Yeah, he's from Austin.
Okay.
Not Austin, sorry. San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of Seti's peeps.
All right, let's go.
Seti's peeps.
Seti's peeps.
Now on to one of the more interesting developments that came out of the Millionaire Maker that I find to be fascinating. So Bet on Drew found himself in a bit of a weird conundrum, which I think for the rest of us, it's not that much of a conundrum, but here we are. He made day 2 of the Millie Maker with what seemed to be like a decent stack, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 50 to 80 blinds.
I mean, it looks like more than that.
Yeah, it looks like he has 80 to 100.
I think he had 80 blinds.
It looks like 100.
150, 160, 175. He had like 180. He has like 180 here, 185.
180 coming back to big blind 2.5K. This is a lot.
Yeah, it's just piles.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the second thread that he started, and he said that, yeah, he had 80 bigs in the Millie Maker and 25 bigs in the $500 mystery bounty at MGM. And he was basically saying, like, I'm going to play them both. Restart of the Millie Maker is at 10, restart of the MGM is at 12, and they are less than a mile apart.
How are you going to play both, buddy?
Right. Well, so here's the thing. It doesn't matter that they're less than a mile. They are very far apart travel time-wise. Because if you walk it, 8.8 miles is going to take you, a solid 15, 20 minutes.
Yes. If
you drive it, it might take you longer.
25, 35.
It legit might take you longer.
Yeah, traffic is brutal.
It was on a Sunday, too. Make things even worse.
Why is that worse? Sunday seems better than Monday.
Nah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the worst.
I would debate that, but that's not the point.
Sure.
So obviously, like, he's going to lose a lot of time through travel alone, like, quarter levels maybe. And then the other thing was he was basically saying, like, the Millie Maker has hour levels. The mystery bounty, I think, had 40-minute levels. And he was just going to gamble for the big bounties, which were 25K and 10K. The final thing that is worth noting is he had 86.37% of himself in the Millie Maker.
How do you have this number for one?
I don't know, but
he was selling on poker shares, whatever.
Yeah, somebody must have bought like small shares. And then he had 20% of himself in the $500 mystery bounty. So it's like, that's a weird thing because
investors want him to play the mystery bounty more.
Right.
Well, he's obviously getting free rolled.
Right, but the thing about the mystery bounty is, like, it's only $500. Your stack is probably only worth like $1,300, $1,400 maybe.
Yeah.
You can just pay back.
How is that even possible to have 86 in the 1,500 and then 20 in a 500?
Well, the thing is, I think so. Here's the thing. This is what from my guesstimate that shut up. Basically, that they're doing this Triton thing, or whatever the
like the bankroll challenge.
Yes,
thing.
something like that. So they get free rolled into all like a certain list of events.
Sure.
So that's why he would have 20% of this. This is I'm just guessing. That means you have 20% of this. So he was just trying to, I don't know, get some points, I guess, or something like that.
I see. Well, what he was trying to do was just like go really hard day 2 of this mystery bounty and try to spin up piles and get the bounties and then dip.
Yeah, he said, I decided to play the Millie for 2 hours and then on break, run to MGM and go all in as often as I could to try to get the 25 and 10K bounties. If I hit either of them quickly, I was just going to leave and head back to the Millie Maker. I had zero intentions of being at MGM long.
Yeah, I like Drew.
Yeah,
I like Drew a lot.
I'm not faulting him.
But I'm about to say something.
Okay, go on.
This is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life.
Monetarily speaking, this is pretty silly.
No, this is like one of the, like, Pat's put out a tweet saying his stack was worth like what, 40 to 50K?
No, not that much, but
it's not that much.
It's certainly probably worth somewhere in the neighborhood of 10K. And I think Pad's bigger point was if you can spin that 80 into like 2x average for now being in the money, because they were nearing the bubble. I think
we were right out of the money.
Yeah, so it's like if you can now spin that going into the bubble, into the money.
It's worth a lot.
It's worth a lot.
And you have a good chip stack to do that on the bubble.
Right. I mean, that's like the big thing is that like you just don't want to be sitting out hands. You don't want to be giving away blinds in spots where you can actually ladder in a very positive direction, where first place is 1.2.
You always just pick up chips when you have like a decent stack of this, like on the bubble at this point, like. Unless you get fucked.
I guess we're gonna bring it up. I don't know how long you want to talk about it for, but here we are.
Okay.
Payout structure for the Millionaire Maker, down horrendous.
Yeah, that's next. We can talk about that next.
Yeah.
To put a bow on this, basically he said he doesn't care about being right here. He just wants to make it right. If you're an investor in this package and feel any sort of way, please feel free to reach out. You're still welcome to a full refund on the package. I'm just going to give up 20% I owed. So he cashed for like $2,200, which means he got like $400 out of it. And I guess he's just gonna like give that away. So like I genuinely believe that, you know, he feels like he should have done something different in hindsight.
How do you even do anything like not necessarily wrong, right? But how would people feel a certain way about it?
Well, he cashed both events, so he made people money in both.
It's just about not the greatest. Look.
Yeah, Efro brings up a really great point, and
he tends to do that
every fucking time. Thank you, Efro. Anytime you want to come on the show, actually, we have a seat open for you, Efro.
It's a really great point, and not one that I personally care to police, but one that I could see starting to get scrutinized a little bit further. He said, honest question, do you think that players who are willing to do stuff like this should even be eligible for selling shares to investors on websites in the future? I think the simple answer is they should not, in general, garner much, if any, markup, because it's a clear misunderstanding of EV.
Well, I think that it's free market, so like people are going to buy what they want to buy, and that
the free market debate falls short when it comes to selling, in the sense that yes, that's true, and people will do whatever they want, but it's also true that the market itself should be educating buyers.
Absolutely. But at the same time, I think that it would be policed by people that understand the situation. Like the people that are buying the action on poker shares or whatever, they see this. They understand what happened.
Well, what Efro's basically saying is, should the people who understand better be in contact with like poker shares and I can't remember what the Pocket Fives turned into. Poker staking.
Pokerstake.com.
Yeah. So basically, should they have somebody on staff doing due diligence and, you know, qualifying or disqualifying somebody as being able to sell?
Okay. I mean, I guess they kind of already do that, right?
No. That's what I mean. It truly is a free market right now. Anybody can sell.
I mean, you have to, when you go to the website, I mean, when you reach out to them, you're reaching out to an owner of the site for both of them. So, like,
you can't just post a package.
I don't think so. I think you have to reach out. Like,
okay.
I don't think it's like that easy that you can just post your own thing. Like,
okay, that's fair.
So.
Anyways.
Yeah, I think that I think that it basically comes down to a question of like, how diligent should the community be in educating buyers?
Yeah.
And I think that where we do a bad job is we say don't buy, instead of saying like, this is an overpriced buy or an uneducated buy because of X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm. Efo says, my main point falls in the free market debate. People aren't going to know about that, and putting them in situations like this seems really bad for people wanting to invest in it.
Right. Like a great example is Sean Deeb. He very rarely sells, but he does a little bit to help RA and PokerStake out.
Yeah.
And when he knows that he's going to be multi-tabling, he either reduces or eliminates markup.
Okay.
So that's a clear understanding of how much inherent value he's giving up, or how much edge he's giving up by choosing to play 2 or 3 events at a time. Right. And for what it's worth, Drew's clearly trying to do the right thing here. Like, in retrospect, he's trying to make this correct. So this is no criticism of his post-decision decisions. It's more of just like kind of demonstrating that as a whole, we've really gotten drunk with the markup stuff, especially around the series, where we think literally anybody with a pulse is winning in these fields. And it's very difficult to be a winner in MTTs in general
Yeah, for one.
But specifically, if you don't understand the value of an 80 big blind stack in an event like the Millionaire Maker, whenever you have a down bad 500 where first place is like 15K.
Yeah, that's nice.
I do want to say something. I know a lot of people reached out to Drew. I know a lot of people are close to him, and like he definitely spoke about this before he did this.
Well, he basically said that once he decided the strategy, he just got off social. So like he never saw Pads' tweet and stuff like that. And I think that that's probably true.
Yeah, but I mean, like these people, there's people in his text messages.
Maybe.
Like, there's no way that this was like.
Oh, you listen to everything that your smarter friends than you say?
Do I? Yeah.
Come on, man.
You're so stupid. I listen to fucking Chauncey and Guapo, okay?
Okay, that's fair.
Thanks, Connie.
Chauncey just says, find the next one.
GG on to next.
Conrad doesn't even know what fucking events are going on today. And like somehow he's going to play he has smarter people telling him what to do.
Chauncey's the Oracle.
Look at him. He is the Oracle.
Look at him. He's such a good. We can't get rid of him. Chauncey can't go. Sorry, Marley. It's over.
He's not good.
How much you want for him?
Honestly,
it cost her $3,000 to get him to the UK.
Oh, fuck that. You're not taking him.
she rich.
You can't take him. Sorry.
He's worth more.
Yeah.
Man.
He's worth more.
It does.
Look at him.
It does kind of fear me. It's like in the sense of thinking that the decision is probably best to play 2 hours and then leave.
Wait, what?
Like Drew saying he wanted to play the Millionaire Maker for 2 hours and then go to MGM and be all in as fast as possible seems down bad.
Yeah, but I mean, it's born out of gambling, and I don't think that the idea of gambling is ever really a bad thing. It's just bad whenever you have investors.
I just think
like you just want to gamble on your dime. The whole reason we're having a conversation here is because A, we know that he's punting money by doing so, and B, there are other people who are invested that he's punting in behalf of. If he had all of himself, then we would just be like, yo, this guy's just punting by wanting to go to the MGM in this spot.
right. Well, that's where I'm taking that in the sense of
I get it.
making decisions even if it wasn't like the idea of selling anyways. You want to do what's best for everybody, and what's best for everybody in this case is clearly not playing this 500.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we are.
While we are talking about the Millie Maker, let's talk a little bit about this this prize pool. So Guapa, I just sent you the actual prize pool.
Yeah, not great.
It's not the worst.
Relax, buddy.
Well, there's just it's just the third to second place discrepancy is really bad.
Dude, it's brutal.
Okay. What I find to be hilarious of this is that somebody ran it through ChatGPT and said, ChatGPT, make me a payout structure for the Millie Maker. And I have to tell you, I'm pretty fucking impressed. ChatGPT did a pretty great job outside of making it super top heavy.
I mean, I like how it starts with certainly. Based on the prize pool,
okay.
Buy-in, here's potential payout structure.
So let's look at it. So basically, it pays out same as the other one. Oh no.
No, it kind of sucks at the bottom. It gives buy-in returned.
Who cares? You're paying 15% of the field.
Well, I mean, come on.
So it pays the same amount of places.
Buy in return, that's for sure.
Everybody says that, but like it happens all the time.
It happens in PKOs.
It happens in PKOs and mystery bounties.
It also happens in like the main event. Well, the main event, I guess you get 1.5 extra.
You get 1.5.
That's all. 1.5. Fine, right? Obviously, we're not fucking nitpicking ChatGPT, but you get the point.
I mean, at some point, I think we need to get away from this whole. We're going to give the recreationals a bad experience if they just get their money back for min cashing when we pay fucking 15% of the field.
I mean, money back. It just feels.
Okay, fine.
It feels bad.
Fine, fix it then, because we have an extra $1 million up top to disperse.
This is what yes, of course.
So it's
fine. It is fine.
The only thing I would change in this payout structure is I would make first place like 1.5, 1.6.
Wait, you mean to tell me that you wouldn't just make second place $1 million flat? You would add the $22 on there?
Wow.
It's like $1,022 and 13 cents.
What do you
look at?
What are you
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the regular one.
Okay.
Look at. It's fine, right? This is a fine. The ChatGPT payout structure is like fine.
The only thing I disagree with is the discrepancy between first and second.
Sure.
What else is bad about it?
I mean, first and second is obviously a ton. The difference between fourth and third is obviously like a fucking lot, right?
250?
Yeah.
250, then 350. I mean, this is proper escalation. 150.
Well, look at seventh. Look at 7th, 6th, 5th, right? 7th is 3 to 4, and then 5th is 4 to 5.
Wait, what are we talking about? 9th and 8th is a 50 pay gap.
Yes.
8th and 7th, 50 pay gap.
Correct.
7th is 100. 6th and 5th is 100. 5th and 4th is 150. 4th and 3rd is 250. 3rd and 2nd is 350. And now there's a big discrepancy at 1st.
I think there should be more of like a laddering effect at FT, where 9th and 8th is 50-50. I don't like that. It should be like 50, 75, 100, 150, 175, stuff like that. Because like the difference between 7th and 6th and 6th and 5th being 100K only is kind of dramatic.
Why?
Well, there should be a laddering system that increases the pay jump, and that's not static. Because 7th and 6th is 100K, 6th and 5th is 100K. It should be like 100 and then 150.
Why?
So there's more inherent value in getting a higher place.
Well, there's still 100,000. We're talking like, what, 800 buy-ins?
Not the point. You can take it from
kind
first.
Of the point.
First 2.25 is a fucking ton.
Yeah, I agree. First should be redistributed, but I don't think it should be redistributed amongst the final table.
If I were to pick a payout structure, I would pick the ChatGPT one.
It's not even close, because what I find to be more important is 11th through 20th. So 11th through 20th in this one is getting 100K. 11th through 20th in the current payout structure, it's also getting, 11th is getting 100K. 12th and 13th, 85. 14th through 17th, 68,000. That's such a big discrepancy.
Honestly,
we don't need these big ladders in the final two tables.
That's what I was going to say. I do not mind that. I think some of these do certain things right, less so others, but it's a start.
I like how flat it is in the final 100. So 100th place is 35K, 20th place is 100K. That's a pretty big jump. Or I guess 11th place is 100K, right? So that's a pretty big jump from going from 100th to 10th or 11th, whatever, right? 100th place in the current payout structure is $10,000. That's down bad, bro.
It is. It is very bad, because honestly, when you have this like pretty deep run, I was having a conversation with friends saying a amazing run in a tournament like this is literally getting 100th.
Yeah.
If you get 100th in a 11,000 person field, that's a fucking wonderful run. And you get 10 buy-ins.
Right.
You get 9 buy-ins.
Right.
Scam.
Yeah. Scam. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we can basically pull like $500,000 off of first place and distribute it amongst these lower places if we so deem to do so.
I think that there should be less of that like discrepancy.
Bro, you get in the ChatGPT one, you almost get the same payout for 500th place as you get for 110th place in the current payout.
Correct.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. I think that there's something to be done with the way that the ChatGPT model did it, from having these bracketed systems of percentage of finish.
Yeah,
right.
agreed.
And sure, you can fucking make it a little bit better with the 1.5x min cash, take a little bit off from first and all that stuff. But the difference of like a 100th getting 9 buy-ins and 11th getting 100K in the WSOP structure, really kind of brutal.
Yeah, I just don't think we need all of this laddering that takes place from 10 tables down to 2 tables.
That's what ChatGPT didn't have,
Correct.
which I liked.
I agree.
I think these things can be a little bit more refined in that regard.
Agreed.
Like 100th place and 50th place are kind of close, maybe a little bit more for 50th.
Yeah, fields are so massive now, like the notion that we should just overly reward people who both final table and or ultimately win is just like pretty crazy. You want to keep people coming back, and you want a deep run to signify wealth or like some influx of bankroll.
And deep run doesn't just mean FT.
Correct.
Like
when you're talking about a 15,000 person field, or I guess this one was like 12,000, 10,000, something,
like
10,000,
or whatever.
Finishing like 80th is a fucking chore, man.
Finishing 80th is a deep run. Finishing 20th is an amazing run.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the structure we have from the WSOP, it's not just WSOP, right? It's other.
No, it's everyone.
TCUs.
But I mean, WSOP runs the biggest events.
Sure.
Player-wise.
In that way, it kind of fucks up someone that gets 25th and they get kind of nothing. Where in the ChatGPT model, that's like, oh no, 25th is a really good finish. Here's a lot of money for that.
55K versus 75K.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big difference.
It's a big difference in a 1,500.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Massive.
Because how often in an 11,000 person field are you going to get this place?
Right, and you can also just like extrapolate that out to the main event too.
Yeah, I would think.
Right. The main event, 55th place, probably pays somewhere in the neighborhood of like 90-ish.
WSOP just like won't change the payout structures, right? They just don't care.
No, I think they will. I think Jack is pretty receptive to feedback. It just takes like a collective voice from the community to kind of say, this is what we want. We don't need to double our money when we min cash.
Man,
We don't need a big discrepancy between first, second, and third place.
man, I get the marketing angle of having 2 people win $1 million, but the jump of 650 to $1 million
insane.
and then $1 million to 1.2 is a scam.
Well, it's a clear indication that you forced second place to be $1 million.
Yes.
Yeah. And once that happens, you kind of, God damn it, Chauncey, claws, bro.
Yeah.
You kind of lose the mark at that point.
Yeah. I mean, it's not great when the jump between third and second and first is in favor of the third to second place
Right.
finisher.
Well, it also just heavily incentivizes chops, and now again
They don't facilitate them.
Right, we run into that issue.
Yeah, man. Imagine just being on the bubble like 1 of 3, and just like having that spot, just piling on people every time. It's like, okay, you want to run it for $350,000? Okay.
Lee
It's nice
Jones.
to be rich.
Shout out to Lee Jones. Hockey stick payoff curves are absurd. Bad for the economy, just plain bad. They've also been going for about 40 years, and the managers haven't changed them yet. Give up the fight, in my opinion.
No, we will not give up the fight. We are loud. We're here. All right. We got to give some condolences. I want to give a huge condolence to Ali and his family. I know times are tough right now. Seriously serious. Thomas Keeling put out a nice memorial for his family. I think it's
I really
worth
want to
watching.
move past this. This has been incredibly tough on my family, and I just don't want them to ever have to think about it again. They didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve me multi-accounting. And I could see the toll that this was putting on my family. This is my punishment for what I did, and I deserve it. I was trying to run away from it all. I really want to move past this.
Poor
This
Barbie.
has been incredibly tough on my
Poor
family.
Barbie. I mean,
It's been
And I
incredibly
just
tough.
Don't want them to
It-
ever
it's
have to
it's
think
really
about it again.
heartbreaking.
They didn't deserve it. They
Were you
didn't
running it
deserve me
back?
multi-accounting.
Yeah.
And I can
Yeah.
see the
I was in the moment.
Guapo was in his feels.
I mean, you got to feel for Barbie in this situation, you know? It's like dad kind of didn't do you proud, and now all the scrutiny is coming down.
Dude, you're dead in the poker community.
That's true. Barbie,
You're fucking dead.
Barbie, I'm sorry you got no shot. Lennon's going to kick you out of any casino that you find yourself in. It's an unfortunate situation for you, kid.
Yeah.
Papa fucked you.
A moment of silence for Barbie.
Yeah. Real
R.I.P. Barbie.
real somber moment for Barbie.
Man.
That birthday party though, huh? It looked lit.
Yeah, it seems like that's some money there, baby.
Yeah,
That
it
multi-accounted
looked
money
lit.
runs deep.
It looked lit, man. I gotta tell you, that's a better birthday than I've ever thrown for my puppos.
You know how much those balloons cost?
No.
The fuck?
Imagine doing a theme party for your pup
So rich.
that isn't like, tennis ball themed.
Let's have 100 tennis balls in the
I mean,
backyard.
what did you do for Gatsby's party?
We used to get him 100 tennis balls every year.
Yeah.
We'd just dump them out. Let him go he would go over and like grab every single one, like he'd put his nose in it and pick it up and put it down, pick it up and put it down, go through all 100 of
Yeah,
them.
that's how you signify dominance.
Yeah, they were his.
He's
Yeah.
the best.
They were his forever. All right, let's unpack a little bit of this video. There's a lot.
Mamma mia.
A lot going on here, man. I don't even necessarily remember the order, so
I don't even know where to start.
I'm gonna lean a little bit on Guapo, but I know he came right out of the gate hot. So it was a 28-minute video. First 30 seconds, he just drops the I multi-accounted, and I think that was what everybody was waiting to hear.
When COVID hit, there was insane high stakes action online. We were all playing like a ridiculous amount of buy-ins every day, and I ended up making a really bad mistake, and began multi-accounting MTTs at that time. I did this for about 4 to 5 months before I stopped, and I had originally started doing this because I knew there was a lot of shady shit happening in those games. I knew there were people card sharing and multiing and working as teams, things like that. So originally I was just trying to fight against that so I could keep playing in those kind of games. It doesn't excuse what I did. There were plenty of guys in those pools that were playing good, honest poker. And they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve me multi-accounting. I'm especially sorry to those people, the David Peters, Ike Haxton, Nick Petrangelos of the world. Like, I'm 100% sure they were playing about as legit as possible.
You want to take it? You go first.
So, sorry to Nikki P, Ike, and D Peters. Sorry to my bros. You guys could be way richer right now, and it's very unfortunate this man stole directly from you. I'm saying this in jest, but like it's actually very truthful, right? So let's unpack this a little bit because
walk me through it
before we get into the deflection aspect of it. We need to speak about like how fucked this actually is and how much he's downplaying it. So when COVID hit, GG was in full stride. Right before COVID, like late 2019.
Yeah, early 2020.
It was late 2019, early 2020. These 25K, basically multi-table sit and goes were popping off.
Yeah.
Every single day, every hour.
Every hour.
It was like 64-man fields type stuff, smallish. But
I think it was it Ivan that was?
Ivan Liao was in there a lot.
He was the one that they were mostly centered around.
Allegedly lost tons.
This is where we circle this back to the whole Bryn thing. He's the one that had these going every day.
I don't remember how much of it.
Wasn't he covering the guarantees for these things?
Well, no. That was way before. That was when they very first initiated high stake tournaments.
Oh, okay.
But it probably did lead into this.
Yeah, maybe some satellites here and there to these tournaments. There were ways to
I don't
play
know
them.
like if Ivan was one of the guys that he brought in or not, but like once there was somebody to run the game around, the game ran nonstop.
Yeah, Kruk was in there a bit too.
So first things first, he basically starts the timeline with when COVID hit, we were playing an insane amount of buy-ins. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. Like, if he made the conscious decision to multi-account in order to up his ROI, I highly doubt that he waited until after those 25Ks were weaning down, right? Like, that truly, we'll never really realize it unless everybody who is in that pool finally, like, or not finally, but like chooses to go on public platforms and speak about like how insane the gamble was at that time. But it was one of the highest EV spots that we've ever seen in high stakes poker.
Yeah, it was honestly kind of just a blur to everyone that was not in that community.
Right.
Like,
we weren't privy to it. We just knew it was happening. And like we'd hear these grumblings about like, you know, some high stakes VIPs who are losing a lot. But we had no idea at the velocity at these things were flying, right?
Dude, people won and lost like millions of dollars in days.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, whenever we're able to zoom out and look at that whole time frame, some real wealth was created out of it, right?
People won millions.
Or at least some real wealth was added to the pile.
Yeah, it's not the millionaire maker for them. It's the millionaire extender.
Right. So if we believe his timeline, it immediately downplays what happened, right? Because, yes, there was a ton of action taking place during COVID, but probably slightly less than right before COVID. Right? Like, don't get me wrong, it amped into COVID, but it was a lot more 5Ks. It was a lot of like, you know, regular field events like 100+ mans and things of that nature.
You could get 6-figure plus buy-ins every day.
Yeah.
Alone as one account.
For sure.
So now multiply that.
Right. And here's where it gets really fucked up because like he's just making it, you know, he basically just on the surface said like, yeah, I chose to multi-account and that was unfair to some people that weren't doing it. But he's not getting into the details of what multi-accounting actually means in these small fields, right? So not only if Ali has an ROI, which we assume he does, has a positive ROI in these fields, not only does it compound that because now he has that same ROI over multiple bullets and multiple accounts, but it's impossible for him not to card share.
I'm sorry. Mama Joe just said your sweatshirt says the hardest twerker.
What is wrong with you, man? Honestly, what is wrong with you? Like, is there ever a worse time for a Conrad bullshit?
It does look like hardest twerker.
I don't care. I just don't care. Like, bring it up at the end of the show when it's time to interject some humor. Christ almighty.
Can't help myself.
Please help yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, like point being, it's not that the ROI is even the same, right? It increases when you have more information.
Well, it's impossible. Yes, it's impossible not to card share because you have both accounts in front of you.
And you have your own brain.
And it's impossible for them not to be seated at the same table at times. And we also don't know the degree to which he was multi-accounting. Are we talking 2 accounts? Are we talking 10 accounts? Right?
And these are 64 person fields.
At most.
So if he has 6 accounts, he's 10% of the
Yeah,
field.
it's like
Right.
it was sub 100 for sure.
For sure. And I think this is why everybody condemned Bryn so much. And we probably didn't put enough emphasis on it. The fact that, there was allegations that he had multiple accounts and that he was utilizing VIPs to use their account and things like that. It's ridiculously terrible in small fields. Like when we go back the whole way to Bonomo, back in the party stars full tilt days where he was it might not even been full tilt, it might have been previous to
He
that.
multied sit and goes, right?
I thought they were MTTs.
I thought they were MTTs.
MTTs.
If they were sit and goes, then it's just as bad.
Correct.
If they were MTTs, those pools were at least big, right? So it's still
Still
awful.
bad. Still
it's
bad.
awful. It's inexcusable. Nobody's gonna ever give him a blatant pass for this.
Yeah, it's not like you just get to be like, oh, this didn't happen. Like, no.
Right. But the larger the field, the less effective the multi-accounting will be as far as bottom line goes.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, there's a huge difference between like 2005 and 2022,
Sure.
2021, 2020, 2019, whatever. The buy-ins are very different. What we know about the game is very different. The way we're able to apply the information is very different.
Tools are different.
The edge is just so much more significant now than it would have been back then. And I'm not trying to compare apples to apples. Like, basically, Bonomo is his own like subset of what happened. Whether or not a penance was paid is up to each individual to decide.
Yeah, who knows, right? It's
Right.
not like you get to wipe this from the records of the public.
Right. Point being, though, is I think Justin has been an upstanding member of the community for many, many, many years and would never, under any circumstance, do this stuff now that we are more educated and able to weaponize the information a lot better.
Probably not.
Man, it just sounds like we're giving him a pass. Sorry, I'm not trying to tangent off, but why are we giving Justin a pass and not Ali? I mean,
because he spent a decade in exile on online poker.
so he didn't play for 10 years?
I mean, he basically was like wiped from online poker, or at least from stars anyway, in the early 2000s, like pre-Black Friday.
I don't even know about this time frame. This was before me.
Yeah, and it was also a time where it's just like of course it's bad, but you just like wouldn't inherently understand what it was like to be playing back then because we were so ignorant to everything.
We're also just saying this from a community standpoint because if Ali wanted to play WSOP events, I'm pretty sure he can.
He can.
Right. So he's self-banning in some regards. You see what I'm saying? Like he's not going to go play. He's not playing 250Ks this year because he feels like he doesn't want to be there or
Maybe.
whatever. But he has the option to play them.
Well,
Sure.
that's because he feels like he'll get torched by fucking Dan Smith when he sits down.
Yeah, but that's part of the punishment that you get for doing what you did.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think him being ostracized is for sure completely reasonable. And yeah, like, dating it back to like the early 2000s with Justin, it was so wild, wild west, and we were all so fucking clueless as to what was or was not egregious. Like, sure, he was gaining an unfair edge by multi-accounting, but like we could never weaponize that information the way you could now. And that's the difference. Like, he could have made hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars doing it. Ali could make hundreds of thousands or millions doing it. So the scale is so different that I think the punishment is obviously going to be very different.
Scale is different, but it's also very new, right? The Ali stuff is newer and more recent.
Well, I think no. I think what we know now is why it's easy for people who weren't around in the early 2000s to overly scrutinize Bonomo.
No,
Because we know how egregious it is now.
What was that like when Justin got caught doing it?
It wasn't that big of a deal.
Really?
I mean, people who were in the community were just like, this is really fucked up, and we're taking the worst of it. But none of us could calculate to what degree, to what magnitude. Everybody had a story of taking over an account at some point because nobody fucking knew any better back then. Like, you can know that something is inherently bad and not know to the degree at which it's harmful to the people that you're playing against, the community as a whole, whatever, like that it's actually stealing. I think that those two things can be separated back whenever everybody's ignorant. But no one's ignorant now.
We know.
Like everybody's so insanely educated now. Think about it in crypto terms, right? In 10 years from now, we're going to look at everybody who built up these NFT rugs,
like rugs,
and we're going to look at them and we're going to think that they're the scum of the fucking earth. But now, in current time frame, or a couple of years ago when it was hot, we just kind of like accept it as part of the risk of being a part of the NFT communities.
I see what you're saying, and it's hard to retroactively go back and punish for former things.
Yeah.
Over a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I do get it though. Like if someone were to give Justin shit today, you're allowed, like you're quote unquote allowed to, right? It's like you did these things. It's not like you get passes for your future act or past actions.
Right. Like I said, Lee just left a comment too. He said, I was the card room manager back when Justin was 86th. I don't remember the length of time, but it was definitely for meaningful amount. So, like, to some degree, he did pay his penance, and currently Ali is paying his.
Well, Ali likes to think that his penance is now over.
Right. So that can, I guess, carry us forward then into the next point where, he, alongside that admission, said that GG confiscated like $300,000 of his.
360.
Yeah.
Sorry, 360. Yeah. And basically said that, they accused him of both multi-accounting and I can't remember. Is that the next clip that's coming up or no?
The second one is him actually admitting to cheating a second time.
Oh, okay. So prior to getting into that, let me put a bow on this. He said that it was because of multi-accounting. I can't recall what else, but it doesn't really matter. Basically, he was denying that he ever RTA'd. And that is a bit of a weird take. Do we have a clip of that as well?
Of him talking about his RTA?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
But let's roll into that one.
Okay.
RTA that people claim I was using, I don't think people actually understand what RTA really means and like how hard it is to RTA NFTs. Say I built an RTA and ran thousands and thousands of sims to use to try and play perfectly online. Those sims would assume everybody's the same stack, which in actuality, NFTs, there are constant varying stack sizes. It's literally impossible for me to build an RTA where I just have all these post-flop spots ran for the hundreds of thousands of unique situations that could even come up. So it ends up just being impossible to run to create like a real RTA for FTTs. I mean, you could make one, but it's not going to be good. It's gonna take you a lot of time.
Cap.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Total bullshit. So
this is actually very insulting.
It's laughable because he used very specific language here. Honestly, like this is an open invite too, by the way. If Ollie wants to come on the show, I would love to like just sit down and go back and forth on some of these allegations, on a lot of other underlying points that I think we have all heard grumblings about, maybe bring up some of the questions that he selectively chose to answer in a very skirting the real question kind of way. But with regards to this RTA, he very specifically said the type of RTA that people are accusing me of. All right, like first of all, let's talk about it. It's a blanket statement. We think you RTA'd, period. I don't give a fuck what type of RTA it was. We just all very much have some sort of soft confirmation that RTA had been utilized.
Let's just preface, there's a clip in there. I think we don't have it, but he talks about a lot of high stakes pros using pre-flop charts during MTTs,
right,
and kind of accepting that to be a spot.
Right.
This is when he was referring
banned.
Yeah.
Banned. So they accused him of
Munker,
RTA and multi-accounting. Those were the two things that he was talking about.
Like using pre-flop sims.
Right. And to be clear, RTA doesn't have to be the way that we envision it with what Fedor Cruz was doing, where he had a cold machine and was like, pulling in all the data from the current game that he was playing and running it through a lookup and getting a spat out an answer, right? It can be much simpler. We've kind of like come across enough interfaces. There's enough in the public realm between like GTO Wizard and a lot of these other lookup databases where we can see that publicly there is a method to getting instant information.
Yeah.
And now it's on them to ensure that it can't be used as that sort of tool. But all you need to understand is that anything that is public now has been private for years.
Yep.
Period.
And I guess we can also say, like, Ali is making the statement of if you used, call it Monker Pre plus which he didn't use Wizard. He has probably something better.
Yeah.
But if he used like GTO Wizard for post flop, he would not consider that RTA that he was being accused of.
Right.
But doing that is stealing so much EV. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so here's the thing. It simply boils down to this. He's basically saying stacks are variable, yada, yada, yada. Okay, yeah, sure, that's true. And then he said, depending on how many players are left in the field, your strategy just changes dramatically. It's like, yes, that's also true. But guess what? We already have lookup databases that account for these things.
And they work pretty well.
They work well enough to gain an edge. Like, you're not going to beat the machine.
You see low jack, big blind 20, you're going to get fucked by the machine.
Right. So just... even though he's claiming like he wasn't RTAing in the traditional sense of like having a cold machine running spots, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, if he had pre-run Munker charts for when a third of the field is gone, for when half of the field is gone, for when 2/3 of the field, right?
These are available publicly as well.
Currently, they're available publicly. They for sure have been private for years.
Yeah.
There's no shot in hell the best players in the world who are winning high rollers at the clip that guys like Ali and Ike and Jay Kuhn and all these other great players, there's no way that they are just coming into this information as GTO Wizard releases
It's a trickle-down effect.
Right,
If the best in the world are going to have it first, then next people...
Of course. The people who are elite, that are at the top of this game, are the ones that are trend-setting and developing the strategies before they ever go public. Yep. And that's true in all realms.
Yeah, it's not just
right?
poker.
Right. Like... find me content out there on 1,000 Big Blind Poker. Find it anywhere. Find me Sims. Is there anywhere? No. Am I running Sims that are 1,000 Big Blinds? Every fucking day, right? All I'm studying is poker between 500 and 1,000 Big Blind. It's available, man. The machinery, the tech, it's all out there.
Right. It's just a matter of running it. Like the computer software is available to do these things.
Right. It's not a common game that's spread, so it doesn't make sense for commercial use to pump that stuff out. But for sure, people who are fucking spending all of their time in these environments are spending their time focusing on what matters most.
Yep.
And that was certainly going to be true of these high rollers whenever it came to pre-flop sims factoring in ICM.
Yeah.
So him claiming that he didn't RTA because LOL,
it's not
a chip EV model
machine.
isn't going to work is so fucking crazy to me.
It basically reduces everybody in the community as a whole, saying, "Oh, I didn't have perfect RTA.
Right.
I don't have the exact dream machine."
Right. And look, I'm not even out here saying that like we know for a fact that this is what's happening, but GG banned him saying that he was using RTA, and he's trying to dismiss it, saying like, I just had Munker charts open. It's like, okay, well, if those Munker charts were taking ICM into consideration, and you have different Munker charts for final table, 2 tables, 3 tables, 4 tables, whatever.
Man, you have no idea how fucking hard this game is as a whole, let alone having these answers 2 tables left where all the money is.
Yeah, of course.
It's insane.
And on top of that, it's
insane.
like, how much post-flop are you playing even?
I mean,
know?
You're playing a bunch, but you still have the answers.
No, right. You're playing a bunch, of course, but my whole point is that like SPRs are going to be incredibly low. And playing pre-flop perfectly is going to be worth so much EV.
He's basically saying, yeah, I did bad things, but was it really that bad?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
It was. It was that bad.
And then he did it again.
Right. So he bookended.
Come on, bro.
He bookended the video.
Mamma mia.
28 minutes. 28 minutes. The first 30 seconds he admits to multi-accounting. And then the last 30 seconds, he just admits to fucking multi-accounting again.
Yeah, and a little after the World Series, like came out before the World Series, I played the World Series, but not much. I mostly just late reg stuff. Late reg, but the World Series ends, and I'm still in a really bad place. And I lashed out, and for a little under 2 months, I played online again, mostly Sundays, where I did multi again. I'm just being honest. It felt like I was being accused of so much shit I wasn't doing, and the shit I've worked hardest at. Like poker, like just works. This is my life. I wasn't gonna be able to drive. It wasn't gonna be able to drive me much more income anymore because I just hated playing live poker anymore. Like I just didn't want to be there. So I lashed out again, and like I played, I think roughly 6 Sundays where I did multi to give myself, a revenue stream in poker again. And yeah, I knew it was a mistake. I don't have any excuses for it. I'm not proud of it, but yeah, I did it for a short period, and then
He said that so
Flippantly,
yeah.
Fucking
And
liar.
we cut out the best part. We cut away just before the best part where he said, and I had a friend reach out to me and he said,
I thought that was the cringiest, so I was like, I'll take that out.
well, that's the win, man. That's the fucking win. It's just like
the inner voice.
I had a friend reach out and he said, don't become what they're accusing you of. It's like, don't become it. You are it. You're an embodiment of it. This guy.
You merely adopted the doc. I was born in it.
I love that. I love that fucking.
Come on, bro.
What are we talking about, bro?
Mamma mia.
We got the full fucking confession. Put this guy in jail. Throw away the key. You're
Boo
out.
this man.
Yeah, you're just fucking out. Like, what is going on? You didn't like live poker anymore, or you got banned from every fucking venue
my
except the
God.
World Series? Literally the only place he's still allowed to play is the World Series. And please, WSOP, if you're listening, take this goddamn confession for what it is and ban him.
Bro literally said he got confessed on GG, like a partnered site with WSOP, and it's like not doing something that would be ridiculous.
It's
in my opinion.
insane. It's just this is such a spit in the face to everybody. Like, so okay, here's the timeline, right? Let's just lay this all out
Good clip material here.
Yeah, over the last 3 years. Started multi-accounting when the high stakes volume online was at max peak.
COVID, yeah.
One infinite amount of money, and then suddenly one day just decided to no longer multi-account. Okay, bro, we believe you. Or you got banned from the site that had all the volume. Whatever. Then everything comes out. All the accusations are levied. He very quickly is kicked out of pretty much every live tour and is banned across online sites worldwide, right? Then tries to play live poker at the World Series last year. Has an awful experience because people want him ostracized from the community. Is upset that he can no longer earn money the way he's earned money for the last half decade plus, and does what?
Cheats again.
Starts a multi-account again. And we're supposed to believe that it was only 6 sessions because he was looking for another revenue stream, and that suddenly he either won enough money to quit, or the inner voice came from out of nowhere and was just like, you know what? You don't need money.
A seraph has appeared and said, Ali, do not be what they say you are.
Right. So it's like, we heard about him multi-accounting on ACR again somewhere earlier this year. And now we're supposed to believe that that only lasted for a short period of time and that everything got cleaned up again.
Man, it just in the sense of like, oh, I knew it was bad and like I did it and it sucks. It's like, okay, get that. At the same time, you are going to get flamed for this.
There's no remorse in this video. Did you hear the tone by which he said he started cheating again a few weeks ago? Yeah, I have no excuses for it. I just wanted money, Oh, and in the middle of this entire timeline, I can't believe I left this out. In the middle of this entire timeline,
there's more.
Ali Ismirovic, who doesn't really even understand the rules of chess, was playing a bunch of people who are good while using stockfish for no monetary gain. It was just for sheer cheating.
Yeah, this was a good story.
Cheat just to cheat. Like, what?
The stockfish legend.
What is going on? This is absolutely insane. The guy is I think I'm not positive of the end of this story, but I think he's banned from chess.com.
That would be very funny if he was.
Like, what is going on? I mean, this guy's a sociopath.
It's wild, man. It's just in the sense of these actions have consequences, right? To think you can just like walk back in, like, oh, it's okay, like we forgive you. We've all done bad things. Like, yeah, of course, people have done bad things, and not everyone's perfect, right? People have done things they're not proud of, but then it comes from the sense of to what scale, right? And how it affects like that community. Like people shoplift all the time, it's not the same as grand larceny, if you will.
Shoplifting is legal in California.
Sure.
What was I about to say? Oh, so where is he banned from that we know? Because
there's no public confirmation of anything because that's not the way that these operators work.
Yeah, there's only 2 places that I think he's banned. GG,
Okay.
and Trajan.
Okay. He got turned away from EPT, so that's confirmed.
Yeah.
Triton is mainly confirmed. Like, we're pretty positive of that. Pretty positive of GG. Pretty positive of Stars. Pretty positive of ACR. I've heard that, you know, from some of the pros there and everything, they're hyper vigilant about banning Ali in any multi accounts that he may have, which may be the impetus of this video of like, look, I tried to cheat again and it didn't work, or it didn't work long enough and I need to make money again. I really enjoy coaching and I'm about to launch my training site. I don't fucking know. We are less confident about WPT. I don't know if they have banned him. We know for a fact PokerGo is the only one that publicly stated these guys are banned indefinitely.
Yeah.
So Jake and Ali are indefinitely banned from PokerGo. We know that for a fact. And honestly, I don't know how it hasn't carried over to WSOP. PokerGo is their production company. GG is their partner in running this. And somehow,
and he's banned
some
from
way,
both of them.
right?
Jake the Snake is at the final table.
Yeah, every fucking year, this guy is just like there, still making money.
Man, it is. Man, it's just crazy. It's
Dude, you got to have next level balls to show up these tournaments and not expect to get flamed. Like,
Well, I don't think they care, right? It's
they
just
should. How
bro,
do you
it's
not?
all about money. This is just from day one. This was just a play for money.
man, he's just not to take it away in the sense of like call it skill level, because there are some people that call it do cheat in that way and then they play live and they're not as good.
Yeah.
Ali won everything on PokerGo.
Yeah.
Like he's
very good.
He is one of the best poker players of this time.
Yeah.
And still did all of these things.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, because you could be the best in
just crazy.
a hyper volatile environment against other people who are the best and only be making like 5 to 8%.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you cheat and you can triple that ROI.
It's not
There's
like
a lot less volatility.
It's just not like he was only winning online because of these things. Like he was just literally beating everybody in every spot, every node, doing everything correct. Like literally one of the best MTT players of this time.
Yeah.
And still having to find the way to like get revenue streams. So it's like, dude, if you just like played like normal poker and just like did what you normal people would do, you're still gonna make money. You're
Yeah,
gonna be
he
fine.
would make money, but there would be so much more risk. And the big thing with risk is that it requires a lot of capital.
Man, it's almost like
So think about the timeline, man. If we go back to like late 2019, Ali had just won Player of the Year for PokerGo, I believe.
Yeah.
And he was like in year 2 of his high roller career. So he probably had decent wealth, but he was also probably like largely backed or selling in those events.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's say he had a couple million to his name, maybe even less, who knows? And now all of a sudden this run of 25Ks comes up where you're going to need like 10 million in liquidity to play it effectively.
even that is not great.
Right. So now imagine that you have a financier who's willing to skirt the rules a bit and say like, let's pump in volume, and you know, as we run it up, you can keep taking more and more and more of yourself.
Right.
Right. That's how you reach generational wealth.
That's GW.
Yeah. You find a black swan event where a guy's going to dust off, you know, 20 million and you get the lion's share of it.
Man, at what point do you think part of it was like comes from a sense of entitlement of I'm so much better than everybody, I deserve all of their
You
money.
heard what he said in the video. Everyone else was doing it. I was just trying to combat against what everyone else was doing. And like, we just know that that's not true.
I'm sure there were other people like call it cheating and doing nefarious things at the same time, then calling it like becoming the vigilante of justice, and then start doing it yourself to combat them. Not the right answer, because
it's a scary direction for specifically online to take, because then it just becomes dog eat dog until it rests upon everybody's trying to become the best bot.
Bro thinks he's like the Punisher of the MTT community, but in this instance, there are people that are just playing these 25K straight.
Right.
Like Adamo was one of these people just playing the 25K straight.
Yeah.
He ended up winning a lot.
That's
too.
that's
Torched
that's the thing that we should probably wrap this on, and where I would like to extend the invite to Ali, because I have a lot of questions. For a man who claims his career was completely derailed and his image is completely tarnished by false accusations, by the community at large. He had a lot to say about his accusers, and he went on to basically say, without naming names, what they were also guilty. Do we have that clip? Let's roll it.
For some of the main accusers, a lot of you don't even have your own house in order. Once again, I'm not here to call anybody out and try to defer any attention away from me, because I'm here admitting what I did. I want to own up to my mistakes. But one of the main accusers, I guess maybe multiple, but one of the main accusers has had a chip EV RTA since 2018 or 2019 and plays the highest stakes. One of them is banned from multiple sites for multiing. One of them multied stars for years. And one of them was multiing 5K sit and goes for a while back in the day, and is somehow now thought of as a respected figure in poker. So once again, like, I'm not saying any names. I'm not calling anybody out. But yeah, like, I don't know, like a lot of people could have accused me of my multiing stuff and I would have accepted it, but some of these guys are some of the biggest cheats, okay?
Why? All right, first of all, you're exactly trying to skirt the attention away from yourself after you put out a 30-minute video, putting the attention on yourself. But why not name names? Like, no one had any hesitation in naming names with you. You know, why if you have all this dirt, why not name names? Right?
Yeah.
Why imply that high stakes poker is dirty and not just confirm it?
Yeah. Also, at the same time, this does not do what you think it does.
No.
You know, it makes it worse, and B, it looks like you're not taking accountability. Right? By saying, oh, this stuff happened, but there are also others. It's like, dude, if you're making a video about you doing something that you fucked up, take accountability and say you fucked up, and it doesn't matter about anybody else.
Of course. Like,
it's
listen,
your house.
Everybody who's put into this situation should just, like, before they ever say a word publicly, should spend some time reading Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willick.
And get a PR rep.
Yeah, yes, and also get a PR rep. But it's just like understanding that, like, if you're going to go the route of I'm going to admit my flaws and I'm going to take responsibility for it, then just do that, right? Don't add all these caveats as to why, or justifications as to why what you did was understandable at the time and why all these other people are quite guilty as well. You know, it doesn't make any sense, and it also makes zero sense to spend 2 years banished from the community based off of not necessarily hearsay, because we have a lot of confirmation through the operators, but based off of what started as a long time coming, where we had known for a while that nefarious shit was going on, but no one wanted to speculate publicly. Now he just does exactly the same thing, speculating without putting any names out there. Why? Well, why not exact your revenge? Because, like, you're clearly not really actually remorseful for what you had done. You literally cheated, like, a couple months ago.
And what a touch to add the awards and the trophies in the back, too.
Why is the camera out of focus, too? Like, everything about this video is so bothersome to me. And like, honestly, like, the balls that his wife is now a poker vlogger is just like, come on, guys. Like, we can't let this fly, can we?
With the Team Amaserviak fucking jackets for the tag team?
Like, come the fuck on with this shit,
Team
man.
Ama cheating.
Look, you're not gonna reemerge in the poker community as like a coach and a vlogger and a mindset guru.
These aren't the villains that we want to have.
Out. Like, you're just fucking out. You're not gonna make money from us anymore. It can't function that way when you're such an egregious bad actor and openly talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows when it comes to the whole, like, apology tour, this, that, whatever. But there are certainly things he can maybe try to do to try to get the PR rep stuff back.
Not now.
Tough now, you know? I mean,
at least
also,
there was some shadow of a doubt prior to yesterday.
The whole St. Jude giving money for charity.
Oh, man, we forgot about that.
Oh, I didn't forget, baby.
Well, he didn't give them any money because he didn't win anything.
And he didn't really play them, yeah.
No,
He's like, anything 25K plus, I'll give money to, and, like, didn't really play much.
Right.
So then ultimately, what is the motive? What do you think?
I think
he was just mad.
Is he trying to get back in the good graces? Like, I don't understand what the motive is.
I think there's a handful of things going on. I think, one, he wants his wife to take less flack when she sits down at the table, and he wants her to have an opportunity to actually be an upstanding member of the community. But it's like,
who's gonna dunk on his wife?
Every single body. I've thought about it.
That's stupid. I think that's
Everybody.
stupid.
I've literally thought about it.
it's definitely not stupid.
It's
It
not
is
at all.
stupid.
No, it
what
isn't.
does she have to do with him cheating? Why is she
Probably a
getting
lot.
dunked on?
Yeah.
I mean, probably a lot. It's pretty unlikely that she just learned poker in the up and up kind of way.
And not only that, like that's your significant other. Like, you know, when you do something, they do something. You're tied together, man.
Yeah, when
I'm
Conrad
definitely not
does
on
dumb
that
shit,
team.
I take the blame for it.
100%. My significant other, sidekick.
I lean on Guapo's side. At the same time, I understand why people
I don't think she
give-
should be harassed.
Yeah,
but
that's-
like,
Of course not.
no, I'm not saying she should be harassed, but she's gonna take the same bullshit that he would take if he sat at the table.
Absolutely.
And I think that's unjust.
How's your cheating husband doing?
Do you think that there's any probability that when she was coming up through the online streets that her accounts have been banned?
I think it's absolutely possible, but without knowing for sure, it seems really fucked up to just go after her.
Well, I guess my point is I wouldn't lay off one of Men the Master's underlings,
Yeah.
and I don't think this is any different, right? Like she's just learned through the tutelage of Ali.
Dude, you know how much? Do you know how much shit Matt got for when like I quit Perkins, which wasn't deserved on his side.
Yeah.
You know how much shit other people got when I quit? No, like you can give me shit all you want, but like people just find ways to like attack the people close to you.
Well, you attach yourself to someone. I mean, like that's her husband. She's hard vouching for this guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna take the same pushback, especially when he's not there to take it himself.
Yeah.
So ultimately, back to my question, like,
Right.
what do you think he's going to get out of this? Or what
I
do you
think
he
he's
thinks?
trying to soften her entrance into poker and hope that she gets welcomed, and that's just not going to fucking
I think it's going to be the opposite.
Right.
This is going to be
completely
make everything
agree.
worse.
Completely, wholeheartedly agree with you, Conrad. I think like her being welcomed into the space is a near zero.
Yeah.
I think secondly, he's trying to find streams of revenue to keep himself afloat. Like, I don't know how true it is. There's a lot of speculation that he's not doing all that well financially. You know, he talked about redistributing his horses out to other stakings or other backing
Stables,
deals and
yeah.
stables and stuff like that. I don't think it was the.
It's not the good graces.
Yeah, I don't think he did it out of the goodness of his heart. It seems as though there's a chance that was because he's in financial struggle. But maybe not. Maybe he was just trying to relocate them, but you know, he didn't for the last 2 years. So that seems a little bit convenient, I would say. And like as an aside to that, I think he's probably trying to prop himself up as a potential coach. Or
He did say he loves coaching.
yeah, many times. And he did just crowdsource like people to that's why people were accusing him of starting a stable for multi-accounting again. Well, A, there was like some evidence that he had been doing it on ACR, but B, out of nowhere, he just says like, I'm looking for a dozen people to coach. And it's just like, or you're looking for a dozen new accounts, you know? So, you know, he poo-pooed those rumors, but whether he's coaching them on the up and up or he's coaching them in order to get access to
A passive way. Of
yeah, whatever. We'll never know. And honestly, it's not
Doesn't
that big
matter.
of a deal. The whole point is like the video was very selfishly motivated.
It did not do what he intended it to do.
No, and like the tone and just the way that he put the message out, it's abundantly clear that he had selfish motives.
Bro literally just went live and recorded and said stuff.
Wasn't well thought out. Was not well thought out.
It
Like,
is really good content for us, though.
yeah, but when you pull it apart and actually just eliminate, you know, 22 of the 28 minutes, you basically have him saying, I multi-accounted, then having him say, I didn't rubberneck Paul Fua's cards because he's not good enough for me to actually look at when he's in a hand, in spite of the fact that there's video evidence of me looking in his direction, and then I wear sunglasses the next day. Followed by, I multi-accounted again. Like, those are the three big takeaways. Everything that falls in between there is just like a bunch of deflection of like, I've been good to my horses. I've never made them sell me their accounts deep in events. There were 3 times where somebody won something and I wasn't available to ghost them. So I definitely wasn't ghosting. And I certainly don't have somebody in the background who manages my stable who may have ghosted them at the final tables.
That 22 minutes could have literally been 1 minute.
Well, we just wrapped it up in 1 minute. So I have a lot of questions. I hope if he doesn't choose to come on this platform, he does go on someone like Doug's. Maybe I can hit him up and give him a few questions that I think are pretty poignant.
We'll just be on there with him too.
No, that won't happen. In any event, that's going to do it for us today. We got a lot of poker to play. We're going to be back here tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. We'll see if there's any follow-ups to this story, as well as all the things that are going on at the WSOP. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. We'll see you all tomorrow.